There are those who move through time differently, not in haste, not in anxiety, but with a rhythm all their own. They arrive late, always. And while the world may interpret this as carelessness, disrespect, or disorganization, the truth is far more subtle, far more human, and far more profound. People who are always late are not slaves to clocks. They are slaves to the inner logic of life, to attention, emotion, and awareness. Time for them is not a strict measurement, a commodity to be spent. It is a texture, a flow, an experience that cannot be fully controlled. They live in moments rather than schedules, in the depth of encounters rather than the precision of minutes. Psychologically, lateness often masks an inner rebellion, a refusal to conform to the world's relentless pace, a quiet resistance against schedules dictated by others. They know instinctively that life's most meaningful moments cannot be dictated by a calendar, and so they arrive when they feel ready, when they are present, when they are fully themselves, when the world around them aligns, however briefly, with their inner state. To the outside observer, this may appear inconsiderate, but to those who are always late, it is a form of survival. Every moment of preparation, every delay, every pause is an attempt to align the external world with internal readiness. They arrive late, not out of laziness, but out of the refusal to show themselves before they have gathered the pieces of themselves that truly matter. Many who are perpetually late carry with them a subtle anxiety, a tension between the external demands of the world and the inner need for presence. They are often deeply introspective, attuned to nuance and detail that others overlook. A crowded room, a hurried conversation, or a social expectation can feel like pressure on the soul, and it is in those silent spaces before arrival that they calibrate, reflect, and prepare to engage fully. There is also an element of perfectionism in their lateness. They cannot step into a moment unready. Their mind and emotions must reconcile first. And in a world that demands instant availability, this is an act of quiet defiance. They refuse to arrive half-formed, half-aware, half-alive. And so they wait, sometimes long after they should, ensuring that when they do enter, they enter fully. Not hurried, not fragmented, not performed. But lateness comes with loneliness. It alienates, it frustrates, it misleads. The world does not often see the preparation, the thought, the inner reconciliation. All it sees is tardiness, a lack of respect for time, a failure to conform. And yet, in the solitude of the moments before arrival, the always late person finds a strange intimacy with life, a pause to feel, to observe, to breathe. They have learned that being fully present cannot be rushed, and that rushing is often the enemy of authenticity. Their lateness is, in many ways, a meditation. It is a statement that life is not a series of appointments to be checked off, but a flow to be experienced. Each delayed step, each careful pause, is a quiet rebellion against the tyranny of clocks. It is a refusal to fragment their attention, their emotion, their soul, in service of schedules that do not honor the rhythm of being. There is also freedom in being late, a freedom that comes from the understanding that control is an illusion, that rigid adherence to time often constrains creativity, connection, and awareness. They walk their own timeline, sometimes frustrating to others, always true to themselves. And in this truth lies courage. Courage to arrive not when expected, but when prepared to meet the world fully, authentically, and without pretense. Those who are always late teach a quiet lesson, that presence is more valuable than punctuality, that authenticity outweighs obligation, and that life cannot be measured by minutes alone. They remind us that some moments are worth waiting for, not because the clock demands it, but because the soul does. Ultimately, the psychology of people who are always late is the psychology of the deeply conscious, the quietly rebellious, and the profoundly present. They are never truly behind. They are simply living according to a different clock, one measured by awareness, alignment, and the depth of experience, rather than the rigid tick of minutes. And perhaps, if we pause and watch, we may learn something from them, that life's most important moments cannot be scheduled, only entered fully, when the soul is ready.